it going, guys? Thought we would do a quick look at some gear that we've gotten recently. We got some new stuff, camera gear, here with Ron, of course, who you guys have seen a little bit more of recently. So we're going to do two videos. This is our kind of like go gear, and then we also have some more studio gear that we've gotten recently. You guys might have noticed a change in kind of like what things look like. Yep. So we thought we would run you through what is in our travel bag.
Yeah, this is the travel pack. We've been traveling. I've personally been traveling with John quite a bit as of the last month and a half or so. So we just wanted to walk you through our travel pack. People ask us about our gear all the time. Like what cameras are we using, what lenses, what tripods, that kind of stuff. Yeah. So we just want to give you guys a quick rundown of what we use and why. We use slightly different gear, so some of the things in here, I have no idea what they are, or well, I know what they are. I would just never use them myself.
I use them.
Sure.
I like to have them.
Sure. So let me start off with a couple things that I use, and then you can kind of go off.
Yeah, let's start with the body.
Start with the body. So we just switched to these. These are the Sony a7S Mark IIs.
I love these.
Incredible cameras.
These things are seriously like industry leaders, I think, in terms of the form factor and the quality that you get for bang for your buck.
I think this is the best camera on the market right now, because to me, when you switch to the professional stuff, you do get like built-in NDs and stuff like that. We switched down from an FS7 because
we sold the FS7.
We sold the FS7 and we got two of these instead, and we personally like it better. They're smaller, more portable, internal 4K. Yep. We have the audio mount on the top, which we're currently using to film this video. Yeah. But they also changed the bodies on these cameras, and now they're much more, slightly more robust. The grip is amazing. The fact that they're mirrorless means the viewfinder works, which is huge just with when you're shooting handheld and stabilized stuff.
So that thing right there is that's the audio mount that we can stick up on the top of this. Yeah, that makes a really big difference. We have two XLR inputs on there, so that's really nice. Plus, this thing is SD. Yeah,
we shoot on SD versus something like the FS7 shoots Sony XQD, because Sony always does that stuff with their memory.
Yeah, they always have proprietary memory. And then we were shooting 4K on a Shogun, which had a solid-state drive enclosure.
But again, that becomes huge, because then you have this camera with monitor, and the ergonomics become weird.
All we need is this.
This is us.
This is the whole situation, and this thing has been such a dream, and it's full frame, and it looks fantastic. So we've been using it with
all manual lenses. So we switched to all manual lenses. The reason we had autofocusing lenses before was because we had stills and video needs. Yeah. So what we ended up doing now was actually just separating them so we could do better in both. So we capped it 24 to 70, but that's for stills, so we don't take that. Our pack is purely for video. We have a 14mm, which we're shooting on right now.
That one.
We have a 35mm.
Which is this one.
This one, yep. We have a 50mm, which we're also shooting on that camera. One. And then we have
this is the 85. 85, yeah.
85, which is a beautiful portrait lens.
So nice and tight,
gorgeous.
Like a tiger.
I wish focusing distances were a little bit closer.
Yeah, its focus is to 4 feet.
Which
I really do wish it were tighter, but we can punch in because we shoot in 4K, but we don't upload in 4K for the most part.
Exactly. Yeah. So moving on to, you mentioned audio briefly. Let's just get this out of the way real quick. If you guys look here without hitting my mic and whatnot, we have these Sennheiser packs. Yes. These are wireless. So the XLRs that are actually plugged into our main camera right now.
Receivers.
Receivers for these. And so we have two actually running right now, which is pretty cool. These have been amazing for us, I think.
I love these. These pair so easily. You can do two at a time. Right. It sounds fantastic. The battery life's great. Plus, it also came with this. I like to have this in the travel bag because in case I want to do an interview at a press event or something like that, I like to have this. But it came with one of those. Plus, we keep this battery pack because everything that we have in here is chargeable via micro USB.
Including the camera. So if you have a battery in here, which that is one of the weak points of the batteries.
Battery's awful.
Sucks.
So bad.
But you can plug in a micro USB and charge this while you're filming, which is amazing.
Yes. Great. So yeah, you can plug, so we keep this thing charged. It's a little Mophie pack. Sure. You can plug in the camera, you can plug in the mics, you can plug in the receivers, you can plug in almost everything that we have in here.
We usually leave with everything charged up, but it's a really nice backup to be like, oh crap, we're running low. Plug her in and just keep going.
I like to have this for press events. You don't use this. I know you hate this thing. But
it's disgusting.
I like to have it just as a backup. If you go to a press event, you don't always get lucky with like nice skylights and lots of natural light. Especially like Apple stuff is usually pretty bright, but I like to have a little bit of extra light just in case.
I think that's great as a backup because for those of you who go to events, sometimes you'll run into sort of setups in areas that are super dark and like really unusable, and they use these really weak LED lights, and so it doesn't work. And sometimes this is just a backup. You're just like, okay, I literally need to illuminate what I'm looking at.
Change the color temperature.
That's pretty cool. I personally just don't like how harsh the light is. It's
it's not a last resort, but it's a backup situation because I'd rather you guys have a good look in some weird light than to have like really low light grainy footage that you can't really get a good look at the device for, because that's what you come to us for. So we've also got this little boom mic here in case we need to, or excuse me, a shotgun mic, yes. In case we need to stick that on top, we need a little more directional stuff. And then we've got this tripod, which this is the old one, right?
This is the old one we've upgraded, but this is still going to be our travel tripod because this fits nicely in this pack. It's just a regular Manfrotto. I believe it's a 701 HD head. We'll have links to everything below.
Yeah, we've got this brand new one here,
which is beautiful.
I love this thing. It's a fluid head.
Well, it's a bowl on the bottom, but the bowl is different than regular bowls because it has a flat head mount, which I know none of this makes any sense, but the point is you can have a bowl and put a slider in between the tripod. So,
which is how we get those nice
rather than having a slider
shots
on separate sticks or on a C-stand or all that kind of stuff.
Right.
In here, wrapping up pretty much, we have a neutral density filter from Tiffin, variable. We have two of these. We have duplicates.
Yes.
We don't really travel with two cameras, but we travel usually with one. But
if we want to do a two-camera setup outside, then we need two ND filters.
Exactly. But again, this is a travel pack, so we keep things simple
as light
and
as possible.
Light. Here we have just XLR to 3.5 millimeters.
Right.
So this can go right into the camera if we don't want to mount the top XLR mount. Just so we want to keep things light and just keep it moving. This is the clip that goes in the hot shoe. So again, for your smaller setup, simpler setup, if you don't want to plug two mics in. And that pretty much sums it up.
This is a great travel bag. I feel very confident, especially with the a7S II. The a7S II has very, very quickly risen in the ranks to be one of my favorite cameras on the market.
I personally own a GH4, and the a7S Mark II is just incredible.
It knocks it out of the park. Cool. Well, that's what our gear bag looks like. Check this out. And it's also a really nice in-case camera bag that we really like. It's got separators inside. Of course, also, I like to make sure I have my business cards for business when you got to get down with business time. Anyway,
of course,
that's a quick look at what we've got in our camera bag. Let us know what you guys think. If you guys have any questions about any other stuff that we do, we're also going to do another gear tour.
Us directly or something on Twitter or whatever if you would like, because obviously it's hard to cover. Ron Parita.
I'm at Mark B. You can send us some tweets, ask some questions, and then we're going to do a studio gear tour soon too.
Yeah, which is going to be just a little more gear, a little more thorough of a walkthrough. If you guys ask us questions, we can answer questions we did not answer in this video.
Let us know what you want us to cover in the next one. And we will catch you in that next one.